What's up, cousins? It's me. Don't call me white girl, your favorite cousin, and I have amazing news. This is my real hair, and the podcast is on sale. Oh! That's right. It's still $6.99 monthly, but instead of the normal $1,286, it is now $14,999 annually. That's right, baby. Save yourself a couple bucks and subscribe to my podcast. Get unlimited BTS, special access to episodes that only the subscribing cousins can see, unlimited access to our exclusive Discord chat. Subscribe to the podcast today, baby. $49.99 for the year. If you want to go to cheap route, still $69.99. Excuse me. If you want to go to cheap route, it's still $6.99 monthly, but only now, right now, can you get it for $10,999 annually. Get off of this commercial and subscribe right now. Right now! Welcome, America, to the world's greatest podcast. It is hot as shit in here. The coochie's a bit sweaty, but I'm excited. Of course, I got my folks Hugo in here, but we have an extremely special guest in the building. I've been talking about this guest for a while now. A lot of you have requested, I'll be honest. A lot of you have requested. And I'm just excited I was able to, again, do you solid and come through. Well, everybody in this building, everybody at home, my tractor trailer drivers that are listening, give it up for Deante Kyle. He's in the building. We been friends. I've been through this. I told him he was gonna make it to the top.
Assalamu alaikum.
I'm excited. Welcome, Deante.
What's happening? How you feeling?
And you've been in the area for a while, so
yeah,
far.
Yeah, that's why I'm like.
Are you loving it?
Comfortable. I'm with it.
Are you loving it?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't hear one join yet.
Nah, it's enough. If I was here for another, that's why Assalamu alaikum.
Okay.
I've been getting a lot of that.
Okay. They've been greeting you?
Fuck in Philly because they don't dap you up. They shake your hand.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah, we handshakers.
Yeah, that's men. Yeah. I was like, I like it out here.
Yeah. Young shake your hand too.
Nah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like 15, like,
yep.
Like, oh, okay,
no, I mean, my son will greet you with a handshake and he's 10.
That's respectful culture.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Deante been in the building. My only concern wasn't his safety. It wasn't, was he going to have fun? It was he going to be able to get a good cheesesteak? So, Deante, not only do I want to know, did you get a good cheesesteak, but I need to know where'd you get it from?
All right, first, so they put me on South Street. So
it's only
I went Ishka.
Okay,
yeah.
It was good.
Okay.
It's definitely a difference.
Yeah.
I thought this was gas. You know how from Memphis, like, talk about their tap water?
Yeah.
I thought that's what this situation was.
I thought you was going to say barbecue, but tap water, okay.
Yeah, but it's totally different. Nah, that shit was fire.
Yeah.
And I went to Taste the next day.
Okay,
Taste is
Taste.
good.
Taste
Taste
is
is
good.
good.
Yeah.
I went chicken when I went to Taste, though. I can't.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because if I go to Ishka Bibbles, I'm going chicken.
I go chicken
word.
most of the time.
Yeah.
I rarely go.
I really not a big. I'm not heavy on the beef. Pause.
Yeah, pause, super pause.
Yeah,
Zach, you okay? Anyway, sidebar. Favorite chicken cheesesteak in the city is Abner's. Still Abner's. I don't know if y'all know about Abner's.
Hold on. You got ask from the region what they get on there.
True.
It's like onion, sweet peppers, salt, pepper, ketchup.
All right, cool.
No mayo?
Yeah, mayo too. Yeah.
Okay.
From out of town, as soon as they say lettuce, tomato, I'll be like,
No, that's a sub sandwich.
That's a sub.
And also too, I'll tell people like, how do people like make it how you make it like a super duper regular, local. Make it like that.
And you know one thing that I know that they probably left out, because I feel like this is like an old school thing with a cheesesteak, but you're supposed to get the roll gutted and toasted.
Take some of the bread out.
Yeah, and they pick up, because you don't want a whole bunch of bread in the sandwich. It's supposed to be like a little crisp crunch to the bread. You feel me? Take the bread out.
At Taste, they had the sesame seed joint.
See, that's that new expensive cheesesteak that came to the city.
I ain't gonna lie with it though.
With that
It was
roll.
unnecessary, but I with it because it was soft.
Yeah, because they doing prime ribs, cheesesteaks, 24
Now, they
karat
also
gold.
said they had a salmon cheesesteak at Taste too.
They good.
Yeah,
they good as
Suki can't fuck with salmon, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cheesesteak in West Philly right now that, for a couple years have been jumping, and it's a cheesesteak, but on top is shrimp and broccoli. Y'all never had them?
Okay, that's crazy.
They so
That's
good.
not a cheesesteak though.
It's so good. It's definitely a cheesesteak.
It's not.
Deante's a cheesesteak.
That's like a concoction, real.
It's good though. It's really, really good.
That's like borderline hibachi.
Kinda, a little bit. Nigga bachi. Either way, I don't know if you live under a rock, you don't know who Deante Kyle is. Introduce yourself. Tell them who you are.
Deante Kyle, host of the Grits and Eggs podcast, award-winning podcast.
Award-winning.
We got nominated for 2 awards. We already won 1.
That's crazy.
We finna win that second one too.
Y'all are.
Also, just regular all-around guy. Good guy, stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Step on toes every now and then.
I discovered Deante on TikTok. I was new on the app, and it would be this guy from work, like spitting. I'm like, yo, this guy's smart as shit. And my tester is smart. I always have to show Wanda. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, Mom, check this out, see what's up with him. Mm-hmm. My mom's like, oh, he's handsome. He's just, hey, calm your cat down, right? Do you think the guy's smart? But no, you're real passionate about your stuff, and you have a different perspective, and then you funny. I feel like I don't know if people pay enough attention to that. You are funny. You crack a couple. You're a funny guy, Deante.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta,
I guess.
A little spoonful of sugar type vibe.
What's your sign?
Cancer. July the 4th, my birthday coming up.
His birthday.
$sign Grits and Eggs cash out.
Yeah. Oh my God, he drops his cash. Put his cash up.
$sign Grits and Eggs podcast. Send me something.
Put his cash up.
It's not even that. He's super black, pro-black revolutionary. July 4th birthday.
Yeah. Everybody say that, bro. They were like, damn, that shit is just pure irony.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
So I was born to hate this place.
It was meant to be. So, how long you been in the content? Like, I know, because I don't know, because the outside looking in, it's all a perspective thing. To me, you get on the internet and it pick up fast. Like, I'll look one week, the next week the views is double and triple and go up. Like, were you doing content before then, or that was your first try?
Yeah, I started in 2022.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but I was rapping and so I had like a freestyle go viral.
You look like a rapper.
Yeah. What that mean?
I mean, you just look like you rap.
Good rapper aesthetic. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from Philly, bro. So it's like
I was with it though, and then I had a freestyle go viral, and I was like, oh, okay, this rap might be. You might got to do this on TikTok because on Instagram my shit wasn't clicking at all.
Yeah.
It was just the same fire emoji. I'm like, man, some bull.
Right.
But I was like, I stopped rapping because I was driving the trucks, and it's like. I ain't got time to be going to the studio. I got family feed and shit. Yeah. But then too, I had like this 10-hour session, and I recorded like 12 songs, like whole album done, top to bottom, fully fleshed out. And it was like, oh, my computer crashed, we lost the file. Hey, man.
What the
It felt like hate, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to feature on one of the songs. I was like, nah, I already did this. Like,
yeah.
You the engineer.
Right.
Engineer.
Exactly. You, bro.
And then coincidentally,
I know you still watching, nigga.
Wow, that's crazy.
But so then when that happened, I was like, all right, fuck that rap shit. And I was telling Big Cat, I was like, it's a lot of popular on TikTok that don't be talking about shit. They corny, they safe takes, or like not even takes at all.
Super safe
just
takes.
Like, also is making content off of like popular Twitter posts, so they'll just take that, regurgitate it.
So corny.
Yeah, it's just corny shit. And I was like, I mean, tell me all the time to make content about the shit to talk about like in person. So I just started doing that, and this shit just took off.
First viral joint, what you just talking your shit? What was you talking about?
The housing market, capitalism.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like basically saying like play the game the way we went to college or got trades, and 20 years ago this would have had you good money, and now it's like I'm still living check to check. That's fucked up.
Right.
Like I played the game and then you move the goalposts. That's fucked up. And people was like, you know what? Hell yeah, this right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I see what I feel like we have in common, we're both very passionate people when we speak. With me, I don't know if it's because I'm a girl or because my head big or because I'm pale, but people often get it confused that like I'm angry or upset. Do they do that to you? They think you upset when you talk shit?
I think I'm upset. I think I'm just naturally loud too. Like I'm chilling right now, but like if I really get into it, I'm
you
gonna
a
get
loud
loud
nigga for sure.
Yeah,
you bring the bass.
Yeah,
you bring the bass.
I learned to dial it back a little bit too, because it's like start being like, why is he yelling? I'm like, oh.
It ain't look like that to me.
Early on though, when I was in my truck, I used to be yelling.
Oh yeah, I only saw Grits and Eggs.
I'm cigaretted up,
yeah,
smoking a cigarette, yelling at
But see, I understand, not even necessarily, I want to say passion, that get overused, but I just understand when I'm serious. To me, you just give me the vibe like you dead serious.
Yeah,
like,
I am,
you feel
man.
me? You're not chuckling, you're not stumbling, you dead serious. You feel me? That's just how I took it.
Let me ask everybody in the room, is that a Philly thing? Because when Quill came on, Quilly Mills came on podcast, me and you chatted about that. When Quill came on, a lot of people in the comments were like having debates. A lot of people that didn't know who he was were very offended by how he spoke to us and this, the whatever. And then it would be Philly people in the comments saying, no, that's just how we talk to each other. Yeah. Is that a city thing? Like, are we more aggressive up here? How we talk to each other?
Well, you gotta think too, like y'all don't give off this demeanor like y'all finna let nobody try y'all. Yeah. So then it's like, if he doing that and you think he trying them and they cool, then obviously it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause it's like, and if you in like New Orleans, just call each other bitches and everything down there. And it's like, you call somewhere else, they might be offended by that. Mm-hmm. But if everybody on board, it's like there's just some regional shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
As a woman, because I am a woman, right. It's certain trigger words with, because like regional wise, it's really like kind of touchy. But in Philly, you know what our trigger word is for men? What? Like when you say it, if he's the type that he'll punch you, probably gonna get punched. That's how you get jumping in Philly.
That's how y'all.
But you drag out the C.
Now y'all really, y'all really do that. Yo, shut the up. You could feel it too, like shit.
Yeah, that's how you get it.
You
jumping.
meant that.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy because I'm mentioning
when a girl call you a bitch, you kind of a bitch, or you acting like a bitch. Like if you fuck with a girl and she never really disrespectful to you, and you did some shit, and she was like, "You."
She
like,
meant that.
She meant that.
And you earned it. Most likely, you earned it.
You gotta earn it. Like
most times.
If a girl just calling you a bitch all the time, she just don't respect you.
Right.
But like anytime a girl was like, "You a bitch," I'm like, ooh.
A little bit.
I earned that. Yeah. I earned that. Yeah.
I don't know what that feel like. That's a bad joint.
Yeah.
They only say it on the phone. Ain't nobody never in my face.
I ain't even trying to make it like a standout. I just don't know how I react. Like I'm trying to be like, oh yeah, well I did. I'm trying to think like I ain't never felt that one. Yeah. At least not nobody that I fuck with.
It's cheat. It's only happened when I cheated. Anytime like something like that, like you get caught up.
Deante, a lot of these niggas are bitches. Deante.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, you went viral recently for saying something, and it caused this big ass hoopla on TikTok, and I didn't even realize that till I stumbled in it. And I already told you I'm the type of that jump in fights, and I fuck with you. I purposely didn't engage with a lot of them because a lot of them, they a little obsessed with you. I don't know if is it like people are offended because they didn't say it first, they didn't think that way, or is it when you say certain things, is it like putting a mirror in front of people? But let's discuss what he said first, right? Hey cousins, did you know that having no credit is just as bad as having bad credit? Well, moving forward, we are manifesting good credit only here at the Don't Call Me White Girl podcast. Gas prices are up, rent is way up, groceries, don't even get me started. It feels like everything costs more these days, except credit building with Kickoff. At a time when money's tighter than ever, Kickoff gives you an affordable way to build real credit without the stress of expensive credit card debt. No credit check, no interest, just $5 a month, and it can really help move your score up fast. Members of Kickoff are buying homes, driving new cars, and traveling, all because they invested in their credit health. Users with credit under 600 grew an average of 84 points in their first year on on-time payments. With transparent, affordable plans starting at just $5 a month, no hidden fees, and zero interest, Kickoff helps you score big when it comes to credit. It's simple. You make on-time payments, credit bureaus see good behavior, and your credit can grow fast. Signing up took just a few minutes, and I did it right from my phone. And for an added bonus, there is no credit check, and you can cancel at any time. I know you just went to the App Store to download it, and that's right, Kickoff is the #1 credit builder on the App Store. So don't wait. Start building your credit with Kickoff today, and you can get your first month for as little as $1. That's 80% off the normal price when you go to getkickoff.com/DCMWG today. That's Kickoff without the C. Get KIKOFF.com/DCMWG. You must sign up via getkickoff.com/DCMWG to activate the offer. Offer applies to new Kickoff customers, first month only, subject to approval. Offer subject to change, average first year credit score impact of plus 84 points between January 2023 and January 2024. For Kickoff credit account users who start with a score below 600, who pay on time, and who had no delinquencies or collections added to their credit profile during the period. Late payments may negatively impact your credit score. Individual results may vary. So what Deante said, first of all, how I took it, right, was when women, so it was a big topic about, because we talked about it here on the pod, whether a woman choose to, deal with a bear in the street or a man, right? Would you pick the date, going on a date with a bear or going on a date with a man? I'm talking about bear like a actually grizzly, bear, furry, hibernating, stinking.
Oh, you talking
bear.
about the
bear versus the man.
The bear in the forest versus
Yes.
man in the forest, right?
Yes. And a lot of women picked the bear, and a lot of people were like surprised by it. I'm somebody that I feel like a lot of y'all at home, y'all consider me like a tough girl or somebody that could defend themselves or take care of themselves, but absolutely, I'm gonna probably pick the bear. I've had plenty of instances with men, from kid to adult, where I'm totally in danger. I'm afraid something's going to happen. You know what I mean? When I was talking, we were earlier off camera, we were talking about fist fights and fighting people. A lot of my first fights were with boys. And, people like to say, oh, the boy fights you because he likes you. But it's like, the boy that was fighting me would punch me in my stomach. I'm losing breath. Or I got a little black eye. You know what I mean? He just fighting me because he see his dad fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what Deante said was that as a man, you have to kind of be accountable for that stuff in a certain way, as far as even understand the female experience or why we might be afraid or feel danger because of what we face when we deal with men.
Mm-hmm.
In the way, and I love an analogy or like a example. The way he explained it was like, if a white guy was to approach you in some type of certain type of situations, and he was to say, well, I'm not like them, like you don't have to worry about me being racist because I'm nothing like them, would you take his word for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You a black man, you in a bar with your black friend, and a group of white people come in, they all rowdy, they drunk, and they staring, they talking shit or whatever. That feeling that you get when those white men come up, whether you getting prepared for something, oh, it's gonna be some shit with these, we're gonna beat these niggas up, whatever. That's the feeling that we get getting the mail, getting the package, going to go get the pizza, making an appointment. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just listened to a girl tell a story time on TikTok. She was getting a tattoo, and the guy was sexually assaulting her the whole length of the tattoo. Tattoo 6 hours, he sexually assaulting her for 6 hours. If it sounds strange, what he was doing was he had already folded her shorts up way too high than he had to, and he basically sat his penis like on her vagina. And every single time she moved, he fixed it. And it's like, it was people in the comments, well, why wouldn't you leave? Why when you move? Because it's scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, I hate to say like, I say this a lot, but I hate to say it because it doesn't make any sense, because you kind of have to be stupid, where it's like, you don't understand till you go through it. Do you really have to get great?
Also, too, in that situation, it's very clear that like she's in a vulnerable position.
Yeah.
And if it's an appointment, it's just probably her.
It's just them two.
And then
in his house.
Oh yeah. Well, she probably, and then I think people get this like fight or flight thing all the time.
Yeah,
but they don't mention like when people freeze.
And shock is a real
like,
thing.
Like niggas freeze. Sometimes like it's the fear make people get paralyzed and shit. So that's, I think the initial thought is like, when you're not going through it, it's like, oh, why don't you just leave? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when you in that situation, first of all, to compute that like this is happening, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like what the fuck?
Because that's the initial, and in my personal experience, that's the initial feeling. What the oh my God. She tells in her story, this is a young girl, like a baby in the face. She probably grown, but she like a kid. And she's saying how she's on the phone with her girlfriend. She texting her, I think he's doing, you know what I mean? He was so dedicated to that shit. Then when he would turn to grab something, he would move his hips like this so he can make sure he didn't move his penis so it could stay where he wanted it to be.
No, that's
yes,
absolutely insane.
I mean, and she's sitting there through the whole thing. She get home, she tell the story on TikTok, she posted, and then it's so many women in the comments. This is what he did to me. He did something like this to me, but this is what happened when I went, whatever.
Exactly. So then, my point being, these are experiences women are having. So like, when you approach them and they seem standoffish, it's like you just got to take into account for like all the weird that came before you. Also, too, every that she turned down can't take rejection.
Exactly.
So she preparing to be called a bitch or get hit. And I mean, it's a very reasonable thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, word, Phelps, me and you, we walk in the club, just me and you, all women. We leaving?
No.
We going in. You and what's your name?
Ebony.
You and Ebony walk in the club, all men.
Out of there.
Okay, exactly.
The first thing I thought.
This is the thing.
think
And that's my point though. And it's like, and nobody in here will deny that.
Right.
If I walk in the club and it's all niggas in there, I'm leaving.
Yeah, facts.
What we doing here?
Yeah. And it's crazy because with me, I'm somebody that I have a lot of male friends. It is total typical for me to be with 6 or I'm standing on the corner, it's 10. So it's like even the girl that hangs with the guys, still, first thing I think, oh, it smells a little grapey in here. I'm uncomfortable here. I feel like it's frustrating as a black woman when a black man don't understand that. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the reason, I don't think they was mad at my take because nobody has articulated a disagreement.
No.
They just say they disagree. I think the thing is guilty.
Facts, yeah.
I like this.
It's guilt.
Turn my mic off.
And it's another thing too. It's like, it's not like me, like I haven't made women uncomfortable before in my younger years and shit, or like did too much trying to impress women, or came on too aggressive or whatever. Like it's shit that you, first of all, it's like this how you see men deal with women anyway growing up. So you kind of like
Y'all
think
kind of
like,
raised to do it.
in
my opinion.
We're conditioned to be misogynist.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I'm not sitting here from like I'm perched up like I'm perfect. I'm telling like, yeah, bro, like we all guilty of that shit too at some point. And the only that ain't guilty is scared of bitch and
Facts.
won't approach women. Won't approach them, but they fantasize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like they get that little fantasy going. And I think it's something you learn, like it shouldn't take till you get a daughter to learn how to respect women, but oftentimes it do. You know what I'm saying? Because you start to think about the things you've done to women or the things you know do to women, and you like, oh, better not never do that to my daughter.
Right.
But it's also a thing of like you get older and you mature and you get in a long-term relationship and you just learn how to treat women different. And a lot of niggas is mad at women for whatever reason, because they got their feelings hurt or whatever, or just had bad relationship, got played.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, sometimes I can understand like the bitterness. Like if you call your girl and she answer the phone sucking again, like that's gonna scar you.
Yeah.
That's gonna scar you. But we've seen it happen on the internet several times.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like thinking it's a game, like, oh, she busy right now. But it's like you doing that to clown this nigga, but he gonna internalize that as hate for her.
Yeah.
So like we even play it up with each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think a lot of is guilty, and they may not be guilty of the act, but they're guilty of standing by and doing nothing
And
too.
not doing anything.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, also too, I be preaching for, I be caping for to get trades. I done been open and vulnerable about my own sexual assault by older women when I was a kid. So I feel like, oh, he comfortable for us. But it's like, like we gonna continue to have the conversation. Like,
right.
We gotta continue the conversation. It ain't just, don't just fuck with me when you agree with me. Like you could disagree.
Right.
But it's like, we trying to build or not? We trying to grow or not? Because some of this shit,
growth is uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
That's what it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm holding the mirror up to you, but it's like I held it up to myself first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
It's like the way girls are raised to be somebody's wife. Men are raised to have these conquests, to be a player and have all these. You know what I mean? If a young guy is 9 or 10 or 13 and he in love with his girlfriend, I want to marry her. Clown him. His father clown him. His cousins clown him. You're a joke at Thanksgiving. What you mean you love that girl?
Exactly too. So it's also like have been conditioned to like internalize all their feelings, and then also too, music doesn't help.
Yeah. And
then think about even the way that like sex is discussed. It's discussed as violence, like beat the up. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
For real, girl. You know, when you get mature
Deante?
and you actually start having sex with women, you realize like they be like, nigga.
Deante, I have wanted a lot of things to happen to this. I've never itched for it to be beaten on.
Yeah.
Like there's never been a time in my life where I'm like, damn, I need a beating on this pussy.
Yeah.
Like, talk to it nice, kiss it.
Well, then also, too, we got to understand, too, like, what's the statistics on, like, how many women have been sexually assaulted? And how does that, in turn, express itself sexually?
Deante.
They become hypersexual. They might like violence during sex, all type of shit.
I want to say two things to that. I have never, maybe once, I've told a woman I've been molested and her not respond to me too. Once. I wasn't able to say I've been molested until I was probably like 22, 23. I was in jail and I was blessed with this really good counselor. Her name was Vanessa. God bless her. She passed away. And what happened was my probation officer at the time, he had like sexually assaulted me. So back then, the scam we would run, you caught a coke charge, you tell them you on crack. So then you get into rehab, which is jail, but it's lighter jail, right? Mm-hmm. And I was in like a drug program, and that same probation officer would come visit me there. Did he have to? No, but he was a creep. And he had a really big, I always talk about him, his name is Omar Cedeno. You could look him up. He had a big facial tumor that would go away sometime, but it was this big. He was, I think, Puerto Rican. He had a white wife or whatever, and he was a creep through and through. And just by him up there to see me, he would bring me to the lobby, we would talk for 5 seconds, and he would leave. She smelt it on him. And she was like, yo, what's your relationship like with him? And I said, he smacked my ass in the office. Last year, he smacked my ass when I was in the office, Mind you, at the time, I was wild as f***. It wasn't the calmness I have now, I didn't have then. So I remember walking away and my face being red, because when I'm upset, I can't do anything about it. I can feel the heat in my face. And then the embarrassment from that, and then the thought of what I wanted to do to him, but he welcomed me. I was on federal parole. It's rules when you walk. They walk behind you, you walk in front of them. He's behind me still after he smacked my ass. He smacks my ass walking out the office, perfect spot, it's a camera blind spot. And I'm walking through this office and I wanna spit on him. I wanna turn around and kick him, but I'm afraid. Yeah. I'm walking past federal agents as I walk through this. And now I feel like so by the time I'm in the elevator, I'm crying. I'm punching the wall because I feel like I let this nigga get off on me. In my mind, if this ever happened, I'm gonna kill this nigga.
But it's a power dynamic.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's all it is. And a lot of times that's what it is, you know what I mean?
When I look back on it and I think about it, and I used to say, even then, because I was only like 22, 23, I would say, I wonder how many young girls are f***ing him. I wanted to sue him, and I remember calling lawyers, and lawyers told me, like, yeah, we could sue, but they're going to violate you. That's the first thing they're going to do. They're going to figure out a way to put you away, so it's harder for us to talk. At the time, I had an infant, and I didn't think it was worth it, so I let it go. So I said, I'm going to walk this parole down, and then I'm going to give me a free bag because touch my ass. By then, he was fired, and he was already charged with rape. Like, I mean, and it wasn't even like a thing where they didn't know.
It's a progression thing, too.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
I think also, too, like, it took for somebody to, like, explain to me. You know, like, we kind of taught when we young, like, any sexual intercourse that we have is, like, macho. So, like, I knew in the moment I ain't want that shit happening. Like, I'm 8 years old.
Yeah.
I ain't supposed to be having my,
8 years old is crazy.
I'm not supposed to be having my dick sucked and shit like that. I can't, like, that shit tickle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember it vividly, like, just being like, what the fuck? Yeah. Freezing type. Like, but then you just go along with it because it's like, you older, my family trusts you, and like, you gonna lie.
Right.
And then it's all this like threats of violence and shit.
Right.
And then he's just like, damn. So then how do you, as a man, instead of being like vulnerable or feeling like a victim, you kind of brag about it.
Yeah, like a teenage babysitter.
Yeah, word. And then I think I was telling this girl this shit. And like trying to kind of like ha he like tough, and she was like being crazy.
Nothing funny
it's
about
crazy.
That. Yeah.
She's like, that's not cool.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with a few friends.
That ain't like nothing to be proud of, nigga.
Right.
That's sad.
Yeah.
She's like, this should have probably f***ed your brain up for real.
Yeah.
And so like I remember voluntarily before I was weird about sex for a minute. Like. Even when everybody was talking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I lost my virginity, woo, woo, woo. Like, I don't want to have a conversation because it's like, that terrified me for a minute. Because it's like, weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I had to get out my own head about the shit. And then, you know, naturally, like, when I got cracking, you just get it cracking. Like, you put that shit in the back of your mind, I'm now. You know what I'm saying? But I think when I was like, when you like get intimate with a woman for real and y'all having them like butt naked bed talks and shit, and you just start pouring your heart out, shorty was like, this is sad. Do you need to cry? Right. Like, just put your head right here and get that off.
I mean, I've had that conversation with male friends that we get to that point where I'm like, you know, that's not supposed to happen to you, or I'm sorry that happens to you. And the most common response I get is like, You know what I mean?
Well,
but I think that's like trying to protect yourself.
It's a protection thing. Like that's another thing too. It's like even to what you we condition from a young like emotions. The only emotion men are allowed to express is anger.
Facts.
So then how does that translate everywhere else? Like it translates to violence. Right. Period. Yeah. Because the only thing you want to do when you mad is hurt somebody or hurt yourself. Yeah. So like it's a lot of guys out here that just haven't had any opportunity to express a spectrum of emotions. So when I say something to them that may make them feel guilty or sad or like shamed or whatever, the only way they can express it is through anger. So it's fuck that. Like
he's a simp.
He's a simp. He's a panderer. And it's like that's why I like even smiling like jokingly. I was like, look at me, my nigga. Like I ain't even trying to be funny. I'm grown. I'm confident. Like I know I ain't got a pander, bro. Yeah. So it's like I'm just being real with you, my nigga.
But
like
didn't even give pander a little
how
bit.
How we going to progress? Like this is always talking about community. Oh, we leaders. If we not like, if I'm the quarterback and I f the game up, I can't bring up the defense. Right. I f the game up. It was me. I'm the quarterback. I'm supposed to be the leader of the team. But it's like whenever we start talking about, you know, progression in the black community and the spotlight gets turned on men because we are the leaders and we like to be, we like that title, but it with a lot. It do. And it's thankless. I'm a father of 3. Like I be grinding like a mother. And I don't think my kids ask me for shit out of like being ungrateful. It's just like if I ask them, you go get it. So it's like I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you teach them gratitude. Like, hey, what do you say? Or like, what do woo? Like you supposed to mold them up to be grateful. I say no a lot, even if I can say yes. Yeah. Just so you know, like it ain't a yes to everything. But it's like some people don't even have that. But it's thankless at times. Like they don't see. You know, I've been gone for a minute. And it's like, yeah, I enjoy what I'm doing now. I miss my kids like a but I know when I get back, they're going to benefit from what I'm doing. Right. So it's like, I don't expect them to, being a leader, I mean, you take everything on. You know what I mean? You take the blame. But when you win big. Hold you up on your shoulders and hoorah you get to hold the title. But when you lose, it's your fault. Yeah. So it's like, we losing in some aspects and the way we think. And if we gonna be leaders and we the head of the household and the head of the table and all that shit, then you gotta take the blame. It is what it is. Yeah. But feel the feelings, feel the shame, feel the guilt. Get your anger off on me. I'm fine with it. I don't take it personal because I know it ain't about me. So, but after that process, and somebody has been keeping it real. Like, it was like, bro, a couple came like this, like, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't like that at first, but I have made women uncomfortable. Yeah. I have done like weird to women, and I have stood by and watched my homie be weird with women and didn't do shit. So even though I don't like that he said it because of how it made me feel, he right. So it's like whatever. I mean, as a girl watching, as a woman watching it, it feel like you ain't even talking to me. I'm like, not. If that's pandering, you're doing a great job at that because it feels like it almost felt like I'm walking in the men's meeting. This is you know what I mean? This is what I need people to understand about my show, bro. I don't give a about the internet. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need nobody's approval. I'm grown as bro. Like, this is all, you trying to be a content creator. And I got a truck drivers. I will go haul lumber. I'm fine with that. I know how to get money in that truck. Yeah. I know how to get money in the truck and make more money than most of these content creators. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'll go get my own truck if it's like that. Don't let us go back to the trap. You see what I'm saying? If anything, you know what I mean? You know that ice doing well. You know what I mean?
He'd have been up here talking about you, mean?
But we got him. But sucked in. We got him. but the thing is, it's like, I mean what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. That's why people fuck with it. They know I'm not. They know I'm not playing. I'm not. Like you said earlier, it's like passion, yeah, but it's serious. Like I'm not saying this because it's like, well, if I say this, you think I'm thinking about that? Yeah. You think I'm thinking about what you think? It's like, no, just sit down, just listen. Yeah. That's it. Agree, disagree, but no, I'm being real. Like the easiest thing that I can do is be honest. Yeah. It takes too much to lie. It's way too much. Then you gotta keep up with your lie. You gotta be a character. I'm cool on all that. Speaking on watching your homies do shit, I remember years ago, our old producer, he told a story about they went out of town. One of his friends was being real aggressive to one of the girls, or touching her, doing something, and they kicked him off the trip. They asked him to leave or whatever. And I remember being impressed by that. We had a conversation, Vern, Phelps, all of us, about if you happen to
see domestic violence, what do? I'm the kind of person, the least I'm gonna do, the minimum is if I'm driving by, I'm gonna yell out the window, I'm gonna call the police or get the f off that girl, something like that, right? But I've been in situations, me personal, where a is whooping my ass and I'm yelling at the cars, help. You know what I'm saying? Driving past me. Like, that's happened to me.
Okay, so then we get even more into the validity of how women feel in that moment, because she's scared and you're scared. So here's the problem then.
Yeah.
Because niggas is violent.
She can't stop because he gonna whoop both of her.
Well, also too, might really get hit off on women with the violence, and be scared of and pull a burner out and kill them.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it does reinforce the fact that like, and they violence is out of control, and like, and then the fear of being corrected make you kill it. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, and it's crazy that you went through that, because that was Vern's point. Vern's whole thing was like, you know, it was a time where I always got involved, but now I kind of pick and choose my battles.
I pick and choose too.
We from the city, and it's like, it's so funny. It went viral in Philly, like Philly viral, where these young guys was riding past, and what it looked like was, they were smoking wet. A guy was smoking wet, and he was following around these girls, and he was trying to like touch their private areas, their asses, their vaginas, whatever. So they're fighting him off, and the guys that are in the car around by, they're saying to each other, "Should I do something? Should I do something? Should I do something?" The guy gets out. He punches on the guy falls, right? The guy ends up on life support, he dies. Now, when eventually the story that really comes out, what really happened, and I'm saying this hits close to home because somebody like family to me, that was their family. And what happened was all three of them was smoking wet. So what it looked like was that he was trying to touch them around the pussy, when in reality, he was trying to get his dust out of her pocket because they stole his wet. So they was really fighting over drugs. Of course, the young boy get out, punch him in his head. This guys, this young man put his homicide on social media because he put the video up, and the caption was, you know, it's Philly, so Ramir, Tamir, Fashi, Shahi saved the day. Again, whole time this is a whole homicide. But it was just funny because we had this whole conversation and debate about like whether you do something, whether you not, when you. But
it's a
tough decision to make, because if we in public, like I remember it was getting real aggressive with this woman in Walmart. I was like, "Hey man, talk to me like that." He shut that shit down. He got embarrassed though. But he can't, what he gonna do, whip out a gun or whatever? He was just like, this ain't got nothing to do with you. I was like, if you saying it loud enough for me to hear, it got something to do with me.
Yeah.
But I'm downtown at the bar, slapped the shit out of his girl. Like, he slapped the shit out of his girl. Like, she was trying to get away, he slapped the fuck out of her. And I'm with my girl, and she like, super saver, like, don't do that. Yeah. She was like, she was like, I know. But I don't like when get violent with women. That's some child, like, I seen my folks fight, but I also was just like, I got uncles that was just on some like real player, like a player don't gotta hit no woman, like woo, woo, woo. So it's like, but also it looked weak. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you could beat her up.
What the fuck? Yeah.
But you kind of like get used to it because equate like gorilla pimping with pimping. Yeah. And it's like, that's not finesse.
It's
like,
a total different thing.
But he slapped the shit out of her. And then she tried, like, said something, end up finding out, like, this the daughter, he drunk. They drunk together.
That was his child. Wow.
He beat the shit out of her. So they go across the street, started up again, and like everything in me, like, bro, I gotta. But I'm like, it ain't my business, and that's family.
And you got your woman here with you too.
And she telling me like, chill, like, f it. And so things go on. Like, I'm visibly upset, but I'm like, f it. I go get a drink. They go. He come back. First of all, the whole time we was gone, everybody like, hey, you f up. He drunk, treat his daughter like that. Everybody talking shit about him. Like, woo. He come back, kissing his ass, like, smiling in his face, acting like they weren't just talking shit. Now, I'm hennied up by this point. and everybody smiling. I was like, y'all faking. Y'all just talking about that. I was like, you ain't right, bro. I don't give a fuck about what they say. That shit wasn't right, bro. You lame and fuck. And that's your daughter. You a lame man, bro.
That Georgia came on out of you.
He got mad. You heard it?
And then he was like, oh, all right, stay right there.
No.
I was like, all right, we gotta
let's get the Body here.
But and then see that's the thing though. But it's like
that means he gonna get his pistols back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna leave Zach alone. Zach a good man. I with Zach. Shout out all my King of Prussia niggas. But even in that situation, it was like, damn, yo, like
and 3 of your cousins.
I put us in danger with that.
Yeah.
And because everybody else, it's almost like they scared of him.
Yeah, they scared of him. That's the whole thing.
But when I said something, you think he went to slap me?
Right.
And he was like, I'll go back to prison. I said, I'll go to prison too. What's up?
Yeah.
Don't, because them threats don't mean nothing, man.
We going to jail.
We gonna go to jail.
The thing is though, as men sometimes like we can't have that guilt like, oh man, I ain't do nothing. So now I'm it's like it's not.
I ain't
always,
even feel like that. That wasn't.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying all of us men as a whole, like the ones that we. It's nothing wrong with wanting to save somebody. You should feel, but you can't. It's every situation you don't know. So
yeah,
it's
you
like
can't be a
sometimes
superhero.
when you turn the other cheek, you can't automatically like, oh, I'm the bitch now. It's like that's not always the case.
I can't sleep. I can't do it. I don't know if it's a. And
as
I'm
men,
somebody,
we got to though.
The thing about it is there's a huge difference
the stakes
between
is really high because they will kill you.
That's what I'm saying. As a man,
difference between when you get up and you go out for your day versus me. Like I always look at it like with a black man, it's like the police trying to kill you, your old homie trying to kill you, jealous trying to kill you, whoever baby mom you just trying to kill you. It's a total different thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not to say that somebody won't kill me too, but it's just different. So yeah, you do have to, weigh your options, and it's like your number one job in that moment is to protect your bitch. That's what it's about. You got to make sure she make it home in one piece, and you can't do that helping her.
She already seen me like she when the nigga went back, she was like, I'm finna go get in the car.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Cause she already knew like he finna wild.
Yeah,
and he sweats.
Yeah, but also too. All right, now we all got street backgrounds and shit, right? And we come from some serious places.
Yeah.
But when do we put the street rules down in these situations? Because have suggested to me, like, I'll call the cops.
Yeah.
I feel personally weird about calling the cops on a
Yeah.
I've never called the cops on a
Yeah.
So if it's in the betterment of a community situation where it's like, this is the consequences of an actions, though,
right.
And I can't do nothing because you ain't gonna shoot the police.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then he gonna get out, and then we don't even know what they said. Exactly. It's such a up situation, bro. Because it's like there really ain't no right or wrong thing to do. Because either way it go, you kind of like if you call the cops on it, like police ass, like whoop whoop. But it's like damn. But I say that girl though, like, man, fuck that bitch. That ain't my business. Woo woo woo. Yeah. But if you get involved, pop you, then they gonna call you stupid.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Damn, you should have just minded your business.
Exactly.
So
right.
then it's such a up situation. Like
I mean, in a situation where you got to put this down, you're sitting in the county every day wondering why the didn't you mind your business?
Real
Why the fuck am I in here?
And two, even if even if it go wrong, like what if shit go left, pop you and now you paralyzed, and it's like damn, I should have mind my business, and that's a tough.
In the bag.
And so it's.
You imagine doo-dooing in the bag.
It's a rough life. So it's like. So, and I think the thing is like, the reason why we had these conversations is because we want to see progress in our community, and like male to female violence, that shit is not cool. You feel me? It's hard to progress because if we can't trust each other because of that violence, then we can't grow. Yeah. But the conversation then becomes like, can you keep your hands to yourself?
Yeah.
That's really the only solution is that. Gotta keep their hands to themselves. In
like a perfect black world, like a black utopia, we handle the situation. So everybody in the bar puts this down, put him in the headlock, whoop his ass, send him home, he learned his lesson. Because the reality is that police, they don't make situations better. 8 times out of 10, police and they make everything worse.
They can make everything worse.
Police are and get so disrespectful that they beef with have nothing to do with it. Exactly. Police are and shoot the wrong. It's so many times black people call the police because their business is being robbed, their home is being robbed, and they come and they kill the homeowner. Mm-hmm. Like these is dummies.
And that's why I be saying about the Hebrew Israelites, like, bro, if y'all gonna be outside all day yelling, why don't y'all protect us? Because this is
I gotta take you past the Philly ones.
Yo.
They good cussers.
Now imagine if every man is on the same code, like, let's beat this the fuck up.
Yeah, imagine.
That changes. You can't shoot everybody.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to, like, incapacitate you.
Right, you're not going to be able to get the gun.
You're not going to be able to.
You sleep.
I'm breaking the leg.
Night, nigga.
Rip.
But the thing is, though, we don't have sense of community no more. I feel like in the 80s and 90s that was the last of it.
Well, because I tell you all the time, like, the war on drugs, it fucked us up.
Yeah.
Because before it's fully addicted, it's like what we was talking about earlier. It's its own society.
Yeah.
There's understanding. But once we get to the point where it's like backdooring each other, crackheads, they got their own hustle and they over.
All the
they
rules
break
are
shit
going,
up.
women and children getting shot.
When anything starts to go, how can you trust anybody?
Right.
And also too, it make you a monster. Like, I remember, I used to think like, I could be honorable outside and shit. And it's like, I'm hanging with, like, I remember I fell asleep.
You was trying to play by your own rules.
Yeah. I was like, I can change the game.
There's no honor amongst thieves.
There's no honor amongst thieves.
There's
Real
no
shit.
honor amongst
But then
thieves.
also too, what it did for me is just flip the switch. Well, I'm gonna f everybody over now.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
I might do business with you for 3 months just to rob you.
Yeah, for facts. I'm definitely doing business with you for 3 months to rob you.
But see that's
I should have said
that
that
shit
so
is
hard.
fucked up though. Like,
That's some real shit.
it's
They don't know it's when you do
because
it
and then because I only know 3 months, I can't say he my friend.
Yeah.
But I can't rob him the first time because I'm trying to see what I can really get.
Yeah. You don't want to get too vibey with the nigga and like the nigga.
Because what if you're good? Like, what if you're cool?
Yeah, it's
Like,
always
now you
cool,
got-
but it's
like,
still
all
getting
right.
done to you.
Yeah, no, but
That was
it's
the
also
plan.
like that. But you see, that's also the shit where it's like less is more, where you just be quiet, like you don't do too much interacting or parlaying or cooling. Like, you might invite you out, like, might but you like, bro, I can't go out. Nah, let's just keep it business.
Yeah.
Tell me, if I invite someone, you say keep it business, I know you trying to rob me, because that's what I'm feeling. Because now you taking the mentality of what you'll do to an outside, and now everything look funny.
Yeah.
Now you can't trust nobody.
When I think about it, like I don't even think about it in a time, as far as like 70s, 80s, 90s, nothing. The first thing I think about is, and I don't know if this is all for whatever, but the loss of black leadership. I think that affected our community real hard, and I think that people don't understand that stuff is like generational, like it's in our blood.
Real
so
shit.
it's like, imagine you growing up in these times and it's horrible, and then you see this poised, beautiful black person, this black man talking about being independent and taking care of ourselves, and he making sense, and we should do this, we should do that, and we rallying behind him, and they kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we do that
So
again,
now-
and they kill him.
So now harmony looks dangerous.
So it's like, because that's the thing, back then,
Because nobody interrupt us when we f each other over.
no.
Nobody bothers us.
Stand there
No,
and watch.
no, no, at all. And that's the thing, is like, you get to these points where you really believe that things are going to change and things are going to be different. And I'm speaking from only what I could imagine them to speak, because me being born in the 80s, there has not been one black leader that made me feel safe or made me feel like, like something would change. But when I watch black and white filming of Malcolm X, telling people to arm themselves and shit like that, that shit past me now. So I can only imagine how it felt back then. And back then, there was a nice amount of black people that say, don't listen to that bull. You better put that perm in your hair, get that ugly afro out, you look a mess, right? But it's like to fall in line like that and then just lose over and over and over, that shit do something to you internally.
It do.
And then when you fast forward, the next thing I think about is when people speak, because again, this is not a time that I saw with my eyes, but when people speak about a time where you did something wrong, you got caught stealing from the local grocery store, and the owner of the grocery store was black, and he whooped your ass. And as you walked home, the other neighborhood lady heard what you did, and she whooped your ass. And by the time you got home, your mom whooped your ass, right? So the whole neighborhood is taking care of you, whatever. When I grew up, if a child was at the door with their mom, we was about to rumble, kid to kid, mom to mom.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing to my fucking kids. I remember this thing being like 15, and my little cousin's dad telling his kids, because like an adult had checked them, go up there and tell that fat mind her business. And they stomped 5, 6, 7, walk up there. My dad said, tell you mind your business. That's North Philly in the 90s. That's what we did. I watched my grandma rumble a bit that like did something to me as a kid. You know what I mean? So it's like, we just so kind of separate from each other, and then it's not that much trust. So I get it, I get it. But at the same time, I feel like all that depends on just the individual person. So I know me, found a DoorDasher, 18, 19, with his asshole hanging out. I got him some jeans. I set up a DoorDash account in my name. I tried to help him out. I gave him some game, you know. I adopted him for a week, and the state trooper surrounded my house because he stole the car and pulled up. But that's what I did. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, because if I'm not going to give nothing, I'm going to give you some game. That's prices. I'm going to try to tell you something. But that's not really what we be experiencing out here with each other.
I think the thing is like, so it's up to us though, right? It's up to us that's in our like, that are adults, like that we may have had like rough experiences growing up, but you grow up and you want things to be better. So you just, it really is as simple as just treating each other better.
That's it.
Like real shit.
It don't
I know
that
that like, when I was like 25, it was this dude, he was homeless, and I couldn't help this for real. I tried to give him like you said, some game or like clothes and stuff like that, but the bad off alcohol. Like, I think the one time I was like, yeah, I can't do nothing for this. He like passed out in front of the stove, pissed all over himself. It's like, it's like, not in the jeans I just gave you, my nigga. But I think it's, you know, you just can't be defeated by it. Like, it's, first of all, we was running up a very steep hill. You know what I'm saying? So it feel like some Icarus shit, or not Icarus, not flying too close to the sun. Who the that was rolling the rock up? Whatever. Sisyphus, yeah.
You're so smart.
It feel like that,
You're
right?
hired.
So it's like, but what's the alternative? The alternative is just to give up and just like, well, every time we do something, they kill somebody, whoop. It's like, my mentality is, well, then stop making it one person.
Right.
Stop making one leader. Yeah. Because if you can kill a move, if there's just, like they say, two heads better than one type shit. Like if we make a leader, a council, you know what I mean? Like with people that's trusted, and it's all voices being heard, and it's not just one guy, then you can't kill the movement. Right. But I think when it's one guy, first of all, the one guy always is just gonna come down. That's good with words and charismatic.
He's a charismatic
he's
guy.
Smart. He understands how to talk. Yeah. And I be telling them, like, it's a lot of y'all that y'all didn't know me 3 years ago because I wouldn't get on the internet and talk. Right. But I've been this off camera. Yeah. So it's gonna take niggas that don't feel comfortable on camera but talk like this. Women, same thing. Yeah. To get in front and like put themselves out there because the fear that I have is like we're gonna continue to let fools shine. Right. And it happened, and fools have no shame, so of course they're gonna get it. Like they want attention by any means, even if it's yelling at me. Right. So I think my mentality towards it is like I ain't gonna stop because of fear. I ain't, and like if it's one person that can change, you know what I'm saying? It's good because they'll change somebody too. Yeah. But I think as long as we keep having like just had a conversation, it's uncomfortable. Like even with that, we didn't come up with a solution, but we just understand it's fucked up. Yeah. And it's like the more we talk about it, the more we'll find a solution. I always want to be like, oh, well, we keep talking about the problem, right? But what's the solution? It's like, no. That's how you get to the solution. How the fuck we gonna get to the solution? We don't talk about the problem. Yeah. And first of all, you tell me. Yeah. Yeah. Since you so solution oriented, what is it? Yeah. You don't know. Yeah. You just tired of hearing it because it's uncomfortable. Right. Yeah. And the only reason we talk about it because we trying to figure it out. Damn, at least we trying to figure it out. Exactly. You over there going along with the program. You going along to get along, my nigga. Right. And it's enough of that going on. Yeah. You know what I mean? Those are the same group of people that say shit like, I'm not reading that paragraph. Slower on the internet. Hello. Hey, you remember when it was like in school, when we was in school, everybody was segregated based on their intelligence, but the internet is just like, yeah, everybody, they let the slave with the 6 people in the class, they got us sitting with us. Yeah. That's problem number one. I remember when this dude was trying to tell me, this is this little dude in my neighborhood, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm in that class because behavior. I was like, how bad can, no, yeah, you're a idiot. That's what that is. Yeah. Yeah. It's not, the behavior is because there is no thoughts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Ain't thinking about nothing. He ain't thinking nothing through. That's why you throwing a chair at a teacher? Like you wilding, my nigga. Like, yeah, of course, you need to be in a 4 deep classroom. It's cool. Yeah, I was in a little classroom for a small amount of time. It was my behavior, though. What you was doing? I ain't crack a joke. No, you know what? I had impulse.
And I tested really, I would score high on testing, but I would do really, really bad on anything else. Like I didn't pay attention to anything. And I remember I would just imagine, I would just be in my imagination. I would be in my imagination so deeply that sometimes somebody would catch my attention, I would turn around and they would all be looking at me like a nice amount of class, like look at her, because I would just be like in my head.
You ever been
about
looking
shit.
at somebody but you ain't?
Yeah.
I be doing that too. Like I be in my
Cause
mind's
you in your
eye.
head.
I be in my mind's eye like a motherfucker, and they be like, "What the fuck you looking at?" I be like, "What?"
But back then, how strange I felt for that, and how weird I thank God for it now, because it's like, Deante, so many people are so dumb, and it's like being dumb for me. Oh God, it's like being in a dark room and you just don't know how to hit that switch. Like I couldn't imagine you just trying to figure it out, you know? And it's like it's like now you're willfully ignorant because it's too easy to educate yourself about some of this. Don't want to know. They just don't want to know.
They think there's shortcuts. Like, oh, I trust this person, so I'll just listen to them.
Oh.
And that's how you get got.
Please. You know how many black people get their news from the shade room?
I ain't gonna lie. If I don't win this second award, I'm finna get in my grift bag.
Grifter?
I got you, trust. Ain't that how they do it? Got this trust, now just start leading in the wrong direction.
Start swaying to the money.
My brother, this water right here, with this vial of water, my brother, you too can do the knowledge.
It's crazy. It's crazy because when you are blessed with these platforms, and I mean no disrespect to none of my cousins, I love y'all to death. There are some people that are like, you want my social security card? You can have my house, you can have my dog, you can my husband, you know?
Yeah,
I could start a cult tomorrow. Easy.
Yeah, I think
Pack that.
you gotta have integrity when it comes to that, because power corrupts, man.
Oh man.
I just choose, like, there's another thing too, it's like even when give me backlash online, I already know y'all pattern. So you can't fuck with me. Because I expect you to build me up to try to break me down. Like I think
that's the whole thing.
It's a pattern.
Yeah, I think it's the American way though. I think we like
that. We like the champion, and like, oh my God, look at him go.
Yes,
look at him up there.
Yeah,
knock him down.
Let's bring him down.
And we won't respect him until we take a L.
Y'all know the first person that put that in my head is gonna f y'all up. Britney Spears. That's the first person that gave me that concept. And
it was Basquiat for me, but same.
You said it was who?
Basquiat.
Well, why? Yours is more classy, whatever.
I mean,
it
wasn't about that.
I think it was before my time. I knew who he was, but I wasn't.
I just watched a documentary and I seen how he how he framed it. Like, I don't get phased out about people's opinions because I know that as soon as they start celebrating me, they're gonna tear me down.
It's like it's such a fact, and even with me, like in what I do, I feel like, especially when they watch you from ground up, because these the same people on live with me, and I would pin my Cash App to get dinner for us. And I mean, literally, when I first went viral, I had left my relationship. I was sleeping on the floor. My kids had a bunk bed and a flat screen, but I was on the floor. And my main hustle was like boosting and trapping. I couldn't do it anymore because my face was too long.
Too visible.
So the last couple cases I caught, I would get off with getting the shit I was stealing, but then I would have a warrant because when they would look at the camera room, somebody recognized me. So I would have these moments where I would be like, damn, somebody recognized me? But at the same time, what the fuck am I gonna do for money? So it's like at a certain point, from the very beginning, I had to monetize this shit, and a lot of them were there then, right? But it's like, what I notice is when they see you with stuff, jewelry and a house and it just that shift just kind of changed, you know what I mean? And it go quick. And I've kind of like braced myself for that since the beginning, but I have been blessed with a very loving audience. I get love shown more than anything from my cousins.
I get
really
a lot
do.
of love. That's why it's like, oh, you call your folks cousins too?
I call them, I started that.
Yeah, I call the people in my Patreon my cousins.
Do you know why I do it? I called these my cousins from the beginning because I did not feel comfortable saying fan. I don't
like that shit neither.
I couldn't.
That's actually odd as
It's and with me, I was self-conscious in ways I didn't know. I used to consider myself a realist when in actuality I was just really negative. So when I first went viral, I went dumb viral. I got 3 million views my first time I ever put a video out on Facebook, right? And I was really telling myself, they just trying to figure out if you're black. Or they have never heard nobody that pale with such an aggressive type of, and they trying, like I would talk myself out of why it's really happening.
Yeah.
And I remember I was on the phone doing the booking, and I got the booking, and I was like saying a number I never said. And I turned to my friend at the time and said, they really think I'm a comedian. And she cut the radio down and was like, yo, you're funny. Like, every time I'm with you, I laugh. Like, you giving it to these people, but it's because you're good at that. And, like, at that moment, I was like, oh. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even look at it like that. I feel like I was scamming at first.
Right, but I think the thing is this, right? This is a viable skill. Everybody can't hold a conversation. Everybody's not charismatic. Everybody's not funny. And also, you can't be taught to do it.
No, you can't.
You can't be taught charisma.
Yeah.
That's just in you. I've been like this since I was a little boy. Yeah. So the thing is like...
Can you be taught comedy? They have comedy college now.
I guess.
Structure, maybe,
I guess for what comedy is.
I think the key to it is...
Being a comedian and being funny is not the same thing.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So anybody could be a comedian. Gallagher was a comedian.
I feel like the thing with me
you know what
is...
I'm saying? Like, they was smashing watermelons. Like, that's not funny.
I cross, like, I'm not trying to be funny constantly, right? And that's why they like it.
You know what's
absolutely funny. Trying to be funny.
Yeah,
I'm cracking jokes.
I mean,
like I am sometimes.
If you've been like that, if you are, as kids, we knew what was funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like we trying to, like, I always would go for a laugh because it's like, that's the best feeling in the world. Yeah. Like, that's how you feel like a celebrity before you feel like a celebrity. So running around laughing. Like,
in fact, and I wasn't real cute, and I didn't have the best clothes and shit. And I remember it was the 90s, everybody, Deante, had finger waves. And you would get your finger waves, and then you would get a pump, and you would either get the bobby pins with the gold bead, and you put them in a little design, or you would just get a glitter can spray. But you had to have a perm, Deante. My mother wouldn't let me get a perm. So what I would get is 6 braids, part here, individuals. And around my way, they called them doo-doo braids or dookie braid. So I didn't have none of that. Like,
you wasn't keeping up with the trend.
I was fat.
I ain't gonna hold you though, but that really make you who you are when you get older. When you get older and you don't need it, and you don't need the trends, this is how you become like an original person.
My mother was depressed. My mother wouldn't talk to me. So I would be in the house and it would be quiet. I explained my childhood like it would be so quiet that it was loud, if that makes any sense.
Silence is very loud.
Oh my God. And my mother would go to work, come home, I would knock on her door, she'd say, get the f off my door. My mom would, now as an adult, I understand. Back then I thought she was the evilest bitch. But now, as a person that's been through depression, I get it. She was super depressed, and she knew to buy this house, take care of this kid, put bars on the windows, right? Make sure she okay. But past that, couldn't do it. She go in her room. That's it. So she could get whatever social battery she have left to go to work and deal with these white people the next day, right? And I would go outside. Like, that was my thing. Go outside. I'm talking to homeless people, the janitor, the man that owned the hardware store. And sometimes I would get myself in bad situations. I would have to haul run. Other times I would have a good time. I remember walking to a local church and getting into a debate with a pastor, or I don't know if it was a priest or a pastor, but I said to him, because the stuff that he was saying sounds sexist to me. So I said, well, if God feels that way, then God must be sexist. Can you imagine how that conversation went? I was like 8. It was a wild time, the 90s.
But see, this is the thing, though. And this is why I don't understand the jealousy or the need to like try to tear somebody down. I was gonna be this anyway. Yeah. You know, and
it was hell.
You feel me?
It wasn't fun.
But at the same time, it's like now that it's translated into something successful in my adulthood, now I think that it's like a show. Easy peasy. No, bro, I'm a person. Yeah. And they be forgetting that you're a person. Yeah. People like me, but all the times that people didn't like me, all the times that I got ridiculed for like not knowing when to shut the f up.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Did you get that?
Bro.
They would call me annoying.
The thing that I'm getting paid for now, the success that I have in the podcast has caused me nothing but problems my entire life.
I swear.
You was just like, all right, bro.
I'm that nigga.
I swear.
Yo,
I swear.
Bro, I'm the nigga.
Me too, Deante.
Nigga, it was me.
Or you're weird. Why you want to talk about this politics?
I ain't trying to talk about that shit right now.
Yeah,
it was me. I get drunk.
Too.
Everybody having a good time. And I'm telling niggas, like, you know, it's like 3 corporations that own all of me. They were like, this. But it's like, but this is what and it's like, I would, but they were like, bro, we don't talk about that. And I'm like, and I don't care what Gucci Man chain is. I don't give a f.
Right.
Why you care about
the
that?
angle that you was coming from? I could respect that. A lot of niggas, like, when that happens, they don't know with real education. Always bring up conspiracies, bro. Get out of my face.
Yeah, no. I'm with you on that. Like I
know you're not doing that, but I'm saying you know what I'm talking about.
No, but
but never had nothing good to say.
They not
you
saying
feel me?
shit good.
Yeah.
That's what I be talking about, like esoteric shit. Like it's like, you know, you can walk through the Grand Canyon and get to Africa.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out my
That
face.
pisses him off. That pisses him off.
Yeah, I hate that kind of
Out my
shit, bro.
face. How about you walk? I bet you can walk out this window and end up downtown. Do that first.
Do y'all know what bugs me
We on
about?
what, fourth floor? Third floor? Yeah, walk out the window and go downtown. Like,
Do you know what bugs me about that now, though? Hear me out. COINTELPRO.
real.
So them back then, somebody in the Panthers passed that joint and said, "Yo, the Feds watching us, man. They trying to f us up from the inside out." And I guarantee you, some of the room said, "This tripping. That's crazy."
You paranoid. The weed got you paranoid.
Mm-hmm. So
we are trying to.
right.
So we're going toe to toe with the government.
That's what I'm. But
What the f-
now, with all we know about COINTELPRO, right? Go even further to the CIA with the coke and all that, right? I guarantee you, it was Freeway Rick Ross back in them days saying, "Yo, you know they bringing this because some shit with Narrow Walker people talk, right?" But the majority or a lot of people are saying that's. So for me, because I am very anti-conspiracy theory, only when they are not built in any kind of like sense.
Yeah. Because then it's but with, like my theory is that they're conspiring against us.
Right.
A conspiracy, like you can walk through Grand Canyon and go to Africa, ain't a conspiracy theory. Where's the conspiracy? That's just dumb.
Because even
You see what I'm saying? But if I'm telling you conspiring against us,
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Even the stuff
why
you mentioned,
am I
that
in the
was relevant.
poorest neighborhood in Chicago and I find a crate of guns? That's not regular.
No.
These are $900 guns. My mom can't afford dinner tonight.
Yeah.
All right, well, it look like I got to get busy with these guns, man.
Yeah.
Even if I ain't finna bust it, I got to sell it.
Yeah.
But because the impulse is survival. So it's like, this a lick.
Yeah.
But now that gun you sold because you found it is responsible for 10 of your niggas being dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's f***ed up.
It's fucked up. It is. I don't ever want to be on the dumb end. I don't want to never get
I
too
can't
old.
be a dumb nigga.
And I was telling you a little bit because I don't want to get too big in religion. But one thing I do love about my religion or about Islam is we're encouraged to like read and learn to the end. Like it's like a blessed thing as a Muslim to die in sujood where you're praying or die reading a book where you're trying to learn about something.
Shit.
With Muslims, if I say to Phelps, "Hey, you know, we're not supposed to eat turkey on Thursdays," right? The appropriate response to another Muslim is, Shukran, brother, I appreciate that, but can you show me what ayat that is to be shown proof? And I'm if it's your grandfather telling you some shit, right?
Right.
Women often convert for men, right? And with Muslim women to teach, especially Muslim women that are trying to convert, they'll teach them, "Hey, learn about your own thing," because some of these men, they kicking his slam. It ain't Islam. It's his. It's his version of what he want to be. So it's real,
He running the game.
Right. It's big for us to educate ourselves and for us to know what we're talking about. I don't want to ever get that stubborn or that proud or that rich or that successful where I can't hear what people are saying to me or I don't know what's going on with the streets. When I do think about somebody like Diddy or people like that get where you doing all this that most people would say, "What the fuck is going on? It's tripping," right? I feel like that's when you get that far from that one person that can kind of like nudge you, like, "Yo, you tripping." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a person from the ghetto, people are so hard on these rappers that get these big checks and these big situations. Example, we do Bobby Shmurda, right? Bobby Shmurda got Aeropostale sweatpants on, hitting the dance he been hitting in Brooklyn for the last 2-3 years, right? Who knows this song about to go to viral? So he rapping about the he shot 3 weeks ago, allegedly.
Right.
Because nobody's listening to this shit. We
But
got
also,
13
too,
comments and 100 views.
Also, going back to COINTELPRO, like Worldstar Hip Hop, like what the f***?
Yeah.
I watched this fight for 30 minutes like every day.
Yeah.
So of course the video about killing is going viral on Worldstar.
Right.
And we don't like the thing about Worldstar that's so crazy. Clearly 22 million people didn't watch this. They just put that up there because it make you want to go because it was paying to get their
Yeah.
So it's like the Worldstar was just like they put out what they want to put out and it was all negative. And so then that becomes our media, that becomes YouTube.
Yeah.
So but think about everything
we consume it every day.
Think about and how many years
Yeah.
you watch this shit every day for hours.
You know
for
it's
years.
impactful.
You can't have a positive thought about it.
It became a slogan.
And that's how you know it's impactful when square up a motherfucker yell, you Worldstar. That's like the thing, you know what I mean?
But so now, this is why I'm not gonna take a L.
Yeah.
I can't take the L in the fight. Yeah. Because I'm a Worldstar, and I know 22 million just watching me get beat up. So I gotta kill this.
Y'all imagine I have a teenager. I've seen her fist fight on camera 2 or 3 times. Can't explain how it feels. Like, legit, it feel like my heart is in my head. Like, and it's like, I'm not gonna say like I overreact or whatever, but like I'll load a gun up, drive past the block. You know what I mean? I might not stop. You feel me? But I'll circle that motherfucker. You know what I mean? What's up? You know what I mean?
Just in case, you know what I'm saying?
But it's like, like, as much fighting as I did, I could not imagine having all that pressure in 9th grade to kick ass. Because we used to rumble, and your group might say that your group was very light on you. Yeah, my man did good. He almost won, basically. And that group was the same. So both of y'all basically, he won, right? Now it's like, nah, about to discuss that.
Yeah, slow it down.
But they also, it's also always the that be that start screaming and yelling like when get knocked down, it's like you're making it worse. Yeah. But when I was growing up in my neighborhood, if you fought, you just fought. Yeah. And it's like we'll talk about it, but really righteously, we ain't even talking about that shit at school. Yeah. We just kind of stay in the neighborhood. Yeah. So it's really not that embarrassing because ain't nobody gonna stop being your friend. Yeah. Like you from the neighborhood, you just got your ass whooped. It is what it is.
Niggas get knocked out on the basketball court, get up, wipe it off, and keep hooping with a he just rumbled. You feel me? Game be over. Go home. Yeah.
But with the phone, the phone make it where you feel like I gotta kill this.
The type of person I was as a teenager and a young adult, because I was just angry. And I remember it was something small. We were somewhere and I got into this big fight with somebody at a food restaurant or whatever. When I sat down with my friends who were also angry, violent, jail going. And I was like, yo, I was about to fight. And they was like, oh, you were always about to fight. And everybody kept eating. I'm like, oh, I'm the crazy. Talk to the group of crazy. You know what I mean? And then it's like, what else I noticed is I would get into something in the morning, some random fight with my neighbor. I done fist fought the street that feed the cats. And then I would tell people that call my girlfriend's tell. And then people that didn't answer, in the afternoon, I'm repeating the story. And then at night, the people I ain't talked to in the day, I'm repeating the story again. I didn't around. I was angry all day. I'm just when I get real mad, the corners of my mouth get white. You said you used to do that? Shut up, Phelps. Oh. I changed. So I noticed that I would be mad as shit the whole entirety of my day. And that's what brought it. Deante, I was really type of bitch. I would argue with you in traffic, pull up at the light, and if you was with it, we would get out and rumble. Like I was that angry. I don't even know why. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you like I done been around people that's angry like that. And I think really you're just trying to feel something. Cause my auntie like that. My auntie literally drive like a nut job, like a bat out of hell, cutting off, riding bumpers, woo woo woo. The second somebody react, she act like they did some shit. First of all, I'm in the car, asshole tight as shit. Like I'm hitting the invisible brake whole time and touching, and then she'll get home and talk about it. Like and you a kid, so you first of all. I know my mama would be tripping if she knew you was driving like this with me in the car. And she in that bitch. This how I get on cigarettes and everything too. She in there smoking, chain smoking cigarettes, cutting
Let me get one.
bumpers, all this and that, right? And then somebody react or cut her back off or do a little road rage, and she in this bitch snapping, like yelling to the top of her lungs, out of her mind. Get home and tell everybody else the story as if what she was doing is what happened to her. And then it's like, so she the victim. And I'm like, and I was like, oh, she just like, she needs something. Like I don't know. I don't know what the lack is, right? It's just rage.
Recreational outrage.
Like for fun?
Yeah, just for fun. You just starting shit. And but start and then becoming the victim. Yeah. But then it's also like, I don't know, bro. Like I used to get off on that shit.
What?
Like I used to get off on like if I know something bothers somebody, just keep with them.
Keep plucking these nerves. That's why you like him.
Yeah, it's the thing. Like it's the
That's
thing.
who he is. Look at John.
And
that's who the fuck he is.
And then when you get angry,
no, we're not gonna just glaze past that.
No,
that's what you like about this here, Zach.
Okay, cool.
That's what he does to me every day.
But it's like, but I don't know what, like, but I know as I got older, it's just like, I just needed some type of interaction. I like, maybe I'm because the crib at the spot, she a little up, you know what I'm saying? So there ain't a whole bunch of laughing going on.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, if it is laughter going on, it's at somebody else's expense. So that's how I was taught.
Right.
That's how I was like taught like funny shit. Like it's always at the expense of somebody else.
Yeah.
So then whoever showcases any weakness, like let's say I got a homeboy, like he got that big ass birthmark right here, and then make his hair gray and like that. And so that's the joke.
Right.
But it's like, it ain't gotta be the joke every time you see them. But,
yeah.
But I like you 10, 11 years old, it's like you just on it, and it's like at some point you just bullying.
Were you ever bullied or you sound like you were a bully at a point?
Yeah. But
were you ever bullied?
Yeah, for sure. Like when you're younger, because
everybody get bullied?
I think everybody kind of experienced bullying.
I ain't get bullied.
No way you didn't get bullied.
I swear to God, you had to rumble.
Never.
Also, too,
no,
rumble or not, it don't mean you don't bully you.
I never like was scared to like no.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. It's just like I think. No, I'm saying I think about bullying is like just with you.
This is what I'm saying. I've
is.
never had a continuous pattern of somebody mess with me. No, ever.
Yeah,
never.
I stopped getting bullied like 4th, 5th grade. Like it was always like because I'm the light skinned. Like,
I wanted to talk
so
about that.
it was like
oh my God.
But I think the thing is like
now he was trying me. I want to say that I got tried all the time. So yeah, but it wasn't like a you feel me movie.
I wasn't like going home. I wasn't on some going home crying about
That's
shit.
not getting bullied,
it's just like was with me about that shit. And so like even when you roasting back and you cracking off a good joke, you doing this against like 8. Yeah. So it's like shut your soft light skin ass up. And then it's like, all right, well, this does feel like bullying at this point. I can't even win with good jokes. Mm-hmm. But I think like 4th, 5th grade, I was just tired of that shit. So like I was like went home and I was like, you know what? This ain't about roasting. This ain't about like who can get the best joke off. This is just with me because they feel like it's an easy target. Because we got their lineup of jokes. They call me Desperado and shit. Like this shit. And in hindsight, this shit is funny as shit. Because I get on the bus and be like, ooh, that shit is funny.
You look like black and Mexican a lot when you was younger.
So I was getting like, because and so like in hindsight, it's like, it is funny as fuck, you know what I'm saying? But when it's happening to you and then keep building on the joke, it's like, God damn, I can't even, and I'm getting some good jokes off, but it's like, it don't matter because it's the damage already been done and you hot and you sweating. And then it's just like, damn, at some point you just like, but I was like, I remember what day it was type shit. Cause I was like, when I get on the bus, the first crack a joke, I'm punching him in his face.
Yeah, that's what I got.
It would just so happen to be like, boom. And it's like all that leverage that you got when you on the bus, sitting right there.
Yeah. Fucked him up cause he can't get up.
And he can't get up.
I done beat a bitch in the bus
Fuck that nigga up.
Times myself.
That nigga up.
Yeah.
And it was like, damn, bro, we just playing.
Yeah.
It's like, this shit don't feel like playing.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like
it's
y'all
every
fucking
day.
with me.
Yeah.
But then after that, shit changed. So it's like, I can get my jokes off too, and everybody ain't finna tag to him because like, bro might trip out.
Yeah.
That's what niggas used to say about me when I was young. Like, bro, not too much
Leave
on that
him
nigga
alone.
he gonna wig the fuck out.
Yeah.
But like, cause my homeboy, like, I don't play fight. I don't like play fighting. It's just something about that. It's like, let's just fight or not.
Play
like,
fight and get tricked. Slap box is most I could do.
I don't even like that.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, it's violence. Like, let's just go ahead and get this shit over. And also, it feel like you trying to see if you can hit me.
That's what it be a lot of times.
It is.
You just don't dig it. The slap box wants to
I remember
slap
when
you.
I seen that like the slap box a lot, that's how they bullied me. Mm-hmm. And it's like you if you don't slap box back. I remember my sister, she was a fighting. So my sister told me young, like, if an ass to slap box or try to play slap box, just go ahead and fight
him.
Just fight him.
Oh yeah, and I wasn't. Oh yeah, not slap boxing no randos. Hell no.
Nah, with the homies, but I even tell the homies like, I don't do that. Cause
damn man, y'all had some wild friends, boy. Y'all friends.
I remember my homeboy
had
it's the South shit weird. Cause that's
everywhere, but damn, like
that's not a Southern thing. I have seen plenty of situations where think that they slapboxing their homie. Whole time homie getting off on him. He's smacking the shit out of you.
Smacking
and the thing about this, the other homie doesn't realize that this is trying to embarrass you. He's trying to hurt you. So he's steady. All right, bro. And he comes to the same slapbox match every day. But he the only one going on with a stingy ass cheek.
Yeah, but then too, it's always
you getting beat the fuck up.
Yeah, you getting beat up every day. Like that's
that
how.
Ain't no Southern
so I just was like, no. Well, I ain't even think about the South in this aspect. I was literally thinking about this particular group of friends where like everybody was slimy. So like everybody over each other, and it's like I used to trap over there, but it was like. I don't like it over here. Y'all not even friends for real. Like y'all, this is like group hate. Like everybody hate each other.
Frenemies is what they call them. Girls are very soup common.
But it's like 5 of them. Like it's like damn, all y'all hate each other.
What I just said was wrong. Girls are common. That's not true. Guys do it too.
Yeah.
I learned that later. Even having male friends.
Yeah, there's a group of guys that I'm talking about.
My to be talking about something, and I'm thinking this hate you. You know what I mean?
It just looks different.
He make a mistake and the girl you like. He make a mistake. It's like
bust a play. You feel me? Backdoor.
Mistakenly.
Steal your plug, steal your price.
Exactly.
Different stuff.
Yeah,
you getting something. You getting the pound for $1,000. He offered the plug $1,200. Now everybody got paid $1,200. Hating
you know how to try to come up like yoke you up type shit?
Yeah.
I remember I was in the bathroom. I was twisting my locks.
See, like what?
I was in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom twisting my locks. This is a slimy house. Like everybody get with in here. So it's just like,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. And
you over there to get money.
I'm just over there to get money. But it's like I can get down with this.
Yeah, what's up?
But I get money up. Like it's a good spot. You know what I'm saying? And also too like mama know we trapping in here. So it's like
you taking what come with it.
You taking what come with it. At the time it's worth it. And it's like
it's always like that though.
I can walk. It's
always like that.
I can walk. I can be away from my neighborhood and I can be posted. And at least the way was doing business in that house, they do good. We doing good business. Like,
where they come back.
Yeah, and money and the shit rolling.
Yeah.
But I was in that twisting my hair and walked up like, he's like, what you doing? Like yoke me, like try to yoke me. I put my foot on the sink and threw that into the wall.
Did you put a hole in the wall?
Back of his
into the door. He was like, damn, I was just playing. Like I don't play like that.
Yeah.
But it's like so many times in life, like where I realized like you kind of got to wig out on just to let them know like it ain't that.
Deante. I don't remember like the neighborhood I grew up in. First grade, second grade, third grade, we would jump each other. I don't know why. My first time being stomped, I was in like second or third grade. I have vivid memory. Felines was popping, seeing that feline thing come to my head. Okay, it's gonna kick me. Balling up, knowing how to ball up and protect my face while stroll me, right? I remember winning my first fight, like the change of that. But even that didn't feel like bullying. That's just what we was on in the neighborhood.
Yeah, because you participated too. That's why I never really was tripping.
But no,
I moved, you wasn't doing the jumping?
No, yeah, I jumped. When I moved to like a whole new place, when I came here, I experienced straight bullying. We went to school with the Project Girls. They didn't really like Philly people here. It was just like, and it was a constant thing. Just somebody always had an issue with me. It was always a problem. And I remember it was like a rough year for me. And it's like, I remember even fighting girls and asking them like, why don't y'all like me? You know what I mean? That next year I came back. I never forget. I got titties, John. That was the best part because I really wanted titties. I was stuffing my bra constantly. I remember Darnell Mason, if you're still alive, he smacked my paper titty out and that flew up out my bra. Ball of tissue on the ground. My secret's out. But I came back that next year with titties, right? I also came back with a vengeance. And I'm like, first play with me, I'm stealing off on this. And I was really like that was what I was on, but like that, I became a bully. It was ridiculous. I remember I got suspended or expelled or something for extortion because this little boy that I rode the bus with would sell candy, and he did really well with it. And I think his parents or somebody would like drive him to BJ's Wholesale Club, something that I could never experience, right? And I was like, look, you can still sell the candy, but you got to give me a certain amount of candy, a certain amount of money since we ride the same bus. And he went for it for the first couple of days, and then he was like, yo, why? Like, we ride the same bus, whatever, but you're not even helping me sell the candy or whatever. I choked him. Like, you going to do it. You ain't have choice, you know what I mean? And I got suspended for extortion. My mother was mortified. Like, who the fuck in junior high school gets suspended for?
You extorting.
And I didn't know what extortion meant, and they didn't do a good job of explaining it, because I ended up doing the same next year. But But me, it was always because I was just, I was on the receiving ending of it at a point, you know what I mean? And I just decided at a point, like, I'm not gonna be no victim. I don't want to cry. I remember making a decision, I'm not crying in front of nobody no more. So I just didn't cry, and that was just it. So if I had to punch on you to not cry, that's what I was gonna do. Or if I'm crying, let me punch you so you don't even think that I'm crying. All you thinking about is these things I'm giving you. And I started early, weapons, all that. I was on all that, carrying knives to school, all that. It's so crazy. If I had access to a gun, I would have totally been the kid that brought the gun to school. What's the gun at the house? You know what I mean? When I talk to people like my friend here, Phelps, and a couple other people on the podcast, some like to say that because of my color, because of my light skin, that I try harder than others. I've been teased about my emoji, overcompensation, my emoji choice. All my emojis, the fists, they real black. You know what I mean? My deuce. That's why I'm asking you. I recently did the Joe Budden podcast. When I did the Joe Budden podcast, I really wanted to apologize for what I said the first time I ever did a podcast, because we had a small, brief conversation about colorism. And I said, I love being a black person. I'm a black person. I love my black brothers and sisters, right? I understand how colorism works. I understand that it's harder for you the darker you are in this country. I understand the full gamut. But why does that take away what I experienced as a kid, right? Because nobody liked me because I was light-skinned. Now, after doing that podcast, tons of research, I figured out, I Googled what colorism meant.
Yeah.
So I was wrong about that.
Yeah.
Colorism only works in one way.
Right.
Although, what I noticed, and I get it a lot in my emails and my texts, with y'all, when y'all talk to me, when I first went viral, people used to write me like, now we finally have somebody to stand up for us. Like every freckle-faced ginger, all y'all light-skinned cousins with the red hair was all in my DMs and emails like, yeah, bitch, hold us down, right? Because I don't really know light-skinned people that didn't have that same experience, especially from the ghetto. It's an assumption that you are not as tough as everybody else when you're light, period.
Yeah, but this goes way back.
Way back. And it's not just a black culture thing necessarily.
It's anti-blackness. That's why it affects us like that. So you got people that walk in the room already feeling bullied because they're dark-skinned.
Right.
So, contrast.
Yeah.
Equal and opposite reaction. Like, you look completely different from me, and the assumption is the lighter you are, the better you are. So I'm gonna with you.
Right.
Like, the closer you are to white, you're better, purer, all that.
Right.
I'm gonna with you.
Yeah.
But it's, you can't blame, especially as kids. Like, this is just everybody dealing with their own insecurities.
Yeah.
I feel like it's that like you got to be violent as a child to get out of that situation. But I think that
I was kicking ass.
When you everybody go through everything in childhood. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like
all of us.
It's not special.
Right.
You know what
I'm saying?
Kids
are mean. Kids are cruel.
Kids are. Have you ever seen how very dark skinned people get treated? Like,
right. Exactly.
They them up. They cooking them.
Exactly.
And then especially girls, it make it worse.
Especially girls.
So I think when you get older, especially when you start getting into the workplace, or just like how you start maneuvering around adults, you do realize as a light-skinned person, like, people treat you a little better.
That's a fact.
So it's just like
understanding your privilege. For perfect example for me,
you gotta lead a door over.
I am somebody that if I meet a guy and I know that he got that little light-skin kink, I don't like it. If I meet a that he likes light-skinned girls, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's because it's pervasive, like colorism. It's pervasive. And then it becomes a kink and a fetish and weird like that.
Bro, my first adult boyfriend, he damn near was paper bag test type. It was crazy. I was the only black girl. He had a stable. He had a lot of money. He was a drug dealer, and he had a stable, and we all looked kind of similar, but I was the only black one. You know what I mean? I never forget how that felt. I never felt special. I never felt more pretty. I felt, if anything, less pretty. You know what I mean? Because I didn't stand out. I looked like all the Puerto Ricans he dated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, you can't say that. When men say things like, oh, I'm gonna put a baby on you because I want a light-skinned baby. Or
it's just deep-seated insecurity, bro.
And the opposite of that being a dark-skinned woman where somebody will say something to you like, oh, you pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Or I date you, but I've never dated dark-skinned girls before. So weird. Just looking at that contrast of me saying, I don't want to date a nigga that want me just because I'm light-skinned versus my sister that can't pull a nigga because he thinks she ugly because she dark-skinned. That's a huge difference.
So then you don't see light-skinned kids riding hard for black causes as kids. You see them, you see light-skinned people kind of riding harder for black causes in adulthood. You know why? Because we understand colorism.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
We fighting racism, but we also fighting colorism. You gonna listen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But on behalf of like everybody, on behalf of the community, if you're gonna listen to me, then you gotta come with elite knowledge. But also it's like, I ain't the smartest person, you just ignorant as f. So you just gonna take my word for it.
Exactly.
Because there's like, they see like being, you know, that whole thing of like seeing being white people as like virtuous is weird to me.
I
It's like,
hate it, Deante.
well, but the thing, because think about it, like you only looking at skin. Like I think we look at black people and we don't look at black people for their minds, for our minds and hearts or actions. We only look at the actions, and we only choose the actions that are the worst representation. Just look at white people and only look at
the color of them.
The color of them, because if you look at their actions, like what is there to aspire to, man?
You know what bothers me? The comparison, or when people say stuff like, "Oh, that's why them white people don't like us," or "You do that in that white space." Yo, the from West Philly walked up and smacked the out of Chris Rock, and I saw a grown 40-year-old saying like, and y'all wonder why they don't want us. Like, huh?
Bro.
I don't even want to go.
Okay,
it's no
and
season
then
on
you,
the food.
but you
why
had,
I want to go.
You had
and
Amy,
hang with them.
Amy
What are we
Schumer.
talking about?
What's shorty name? Amy Schumer. She was like, she was scared for her life, but then,
copycat whore.
But then turned around and was like, Israel has the right to defend itself.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Exactly.
Well,
fat.
I don't like.
Fat
One thing I ain't like about when I was in South Philly, white people too comfortable. All that jogging. I got a way to get off drugs right now. Just if you on the street, you homeless, or you on drugs, I'm gonna start giving $100. Just like when white people come, just bark at them, bite them, do something, scare them off the block.
Scare them off.
When you see new development, shoot that shit up.
Yeah, burn it the fuck down.
Burn it down. Like why we gonna sit here and look at?
I like this.
Why you gonna sit here and look at changing the neighborhood and not do nothing?
And not
about
do nothing.
No.
Go steal the cop route that.
Bro,
now, I will say,
going.
in a small hindsight, they always kind of been there. That's not super gentrification.
No, I wasn't.
Nah,
not South Philly in general, but it's just like when I see white people jogging, it's just like, the fuck is you jogging for?
Not through here.
I'm about to say I can't even remember seeing them, but I know what part of South Philly you was in though.
This the thing.
Well, I seen it a lot when I went to New York too. I was like,
New York
please.
been told. Yeah, bro, New York been
goddamn
white.
jogging about.
Please.
If you want to experience like real New York, you only could go to like the Bronx. The rest of that shit is white.
I don't like that.
That's odd, right? That used to be like a real city.
Yeah,
like,
it's over. I don't like the built-in like self-hatred where it's like automatically that's the top. Like that's what we look for. Like even down to the whole, oh, that's a nice neighborhood, the white neighborhoods, or you want to get there, right? Perfect example, me, because I like to be accountable for my own shit. I'm doing a show in Maryland, and I never really do a lot of like white jokes and shit like that. I don't, you know. And to this day, I have like, you know, some shots for them, and I'm talking all this shit. I look to my right, it's a table full of white girls, cute ones too. I couldn't even talk shit. California, tan, looking big, long hair, the beach waves and shit. And I was like, I mean, it put me off so bad. I literally put the mic down and said, what the fuck are y'all doing here? So the whole crowd is cracking the fuck up, right? But I instantly turned back to all my people that have been filling these rooms up for me for years now and say, I must have made it, y'all. That's crazy. That's the first thing that I thought. It was the first thing at the top of my head. And I didn't feel guilty about it till later that night. Like, how the fuck would I have made it? Because 6 white bitches came here when they wouldn't even know who the fuck I was if these ain't fill this room up on a regular basis.
It be white people. It was like a white dude came to the meet and greet or something. Or like a white dude was like, yeah, bro, I love your show. And I was like, oh, gee, thanks. Like, this ain't for you.
Yeah. I mean, I
get it, but my feeling of disdain for it is because of what you just said. Yeah. And I ain't pointing at you about it. I say that all the time.
It's crazy.
Oh, I made it. White people on me like, I'd be like, ew.
Bro, when we
I ain't even talking to you. I feel like you invading my privacy, low key. Like, I say like every third word. Like, I was like, but I also understand that it's like what you saying, like get shit popping. So
we don't
get shit popping. It's like everybody gonna want to see what the hype is about.
Bottom line, it's like, and I think that I don't know it, and I know for a fact that a lot of it is because people just don't know enough about history, because it's all repetitive shit. You talk about the black women in New Orleans, they would adorn their hair with the beads and the jewels and shit like that. And at the time, I think it was a lot of French and shit there, and there was some race mix in there. But what happened was a lot of those French guys, some of those white guys, they would like the black women with the pretty all over their hair, which would bother the local white women.
They started making them cover their hair.
And they went right to the government, yo, this what the fuck? And it was like, it's a rule. You can't do it. Just for the white girls to do the same thing. It's the same exact thing. Kim K can put straight backs in her hair, and now they're the Kim K's, versus them being the Allen Iversons or the Meek Mills or whatever the fuck we call them, right? We do it as trashy, as classy, as disgusting, as ghetto. They do it as trendy, and is it. And it's that overnight is theirs and not ours. But you gotta
understand something too. I used to think, I thought about this extensively. Like, why? It's because white people are like feverish consumers. You understand what I'm saying? No. So I'm gonna steal this thing because we doing it for fashion and vibes. Yeah. They like, oh,
it's an opportunity.
$1 million idea. White, because white people are feverish consumers. Like all they gonna do is buy. They don't think buy. You tell me this is how I buy. That's why magazines sell. 17 magazine, Tween magazine. Ooh. White people are guided by other white people, especially white men, to tell them what they should do, and they do it. Yeah. They fall in line. That's why racism works so well. Like they don't have no like factual backing or no really rational reason to not like
experiences.
First of all, a lot of these ain't even met.
Right. That's
But you hate us.
Yeah.
How that work? Yeah. All the people I hate, I know. But I think the thing is like they feverish consumers. Like popping, classy, Bo Derek braids. Get all these white to spend all their money up on braids, and then we're gonna say braids are out, bald heads are in, all the white spend money. It's like constantly look at what the trends are. It's constantly white men telling white women what they should do to be pretty, and there's a deep-seated insecurity on their behalf that they're always appealing and appeasing whatever they say trendy is. It ain't really got nothing to do with us for real.
Yeah. And social media analytics, it made it easier and faster, so they could take some before we can might be able to even finish with it. You feel me? Like before,
they just take our
used to catch it at the end. Right. Now they be right there. You feel me? Because the numbers, they could just
and they was like, oh, we could throw these on some shirts at Target.
They just Kylie Jenner wore a Hanes beater. They calling it a special tank top. I said, what the
name. And mind you, the title of wife beater being a shirt has been taboo for the longest. It still stayed. I feel like when I think of wife beater, the first thing I think of is when Cops was on TV. That's when that thing became a thing, because every time somebody would be getting a DV, he'd be getting dragged out in wife beater. That's where the term get popular from.
Beating his wife. You
I
feel
be thinking
that was
Blood In, Blood Out, that movie.
What movies? I don't know that.
You know the Mexican?
No, I don't know. I straight think Cops. It's like sweaty.
It's like a Mexican prison.
I heard of that movie, but I can't recall it.
This is the first time. I ain't gonna say whatever. I ain't gonna say that.
I think that is.
Because the quote from that movie that everybody knows is crazy.
What?
He ran up on a nigga while he was in the bunk. He was like, "I'm either gonna have blood on my neck or blood on my dick." I was like, "Yo."
Oh, that's where that's from.
Yeah, I was like, "Yo." That's scared straight for me. I'm like, "This how I'm giving it up." I'm cool.
This is random. This is random, but you know what that makes me think of? A DMX line. I was a huge DMX fan.
He's a
I got blood on my hands and there's no remorse. I have blood on my because I fucked the corpse. I'm a nasty. When you pass me, look me in my eye and tell me to my face that you're ready to die.
Darkman X.
R.I.P. DMX, loved him. I cried for days.
Some of the craziest bars you ever heard in your life.
Yeah, you know the 90s bars was crazy.
To the point is,
do y'all remember that? Y'all don't remember?
No, I know that verse.
Okay. Thank you.
To the point too, we gotta look at like population, like 60% white people that will spend the money every time.
Spend.
It's really
and they got them on a schedule. We're gonna cycle this shit out like every 60 days.
Yeah.
Boom. And we got holidays on top of that. Are we up?
Yeah.
We're up. What?
Yeah.
Because you can't fool us like that.
Yeah.
But we ain't the target. It's just like that shit's hot.
Yeah.
And we know these really low key, the envy of black culture is like we just
and we don't need much.
We just do it, bro.
Yeah.
Like
easy
it'll
to
be, bro. Like we don't even know what the next lingo is, but we know it's.
They don't need us to spend money, but they need us to see how cool
we're
it is.
we're their marketing.
I don't like it.
We do. It's just real. We're societal marketers because we
part of
hold,
economics.
we hold all the cultural currency.
Yeah.
Because we create it.
Yeah.
So, okay, boom. Now that this is like surefire. Also, too, you don't think they know when we kind of like off of it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, we like, okay,
The
cool.
numbers, they
surefire,
the numbers right there.
Surefire way.
We got to start tricking them.
We ain't thinking about it. It's natural. It's a rhythm. Like, we just up with shit. It's just fire. It's just fire. So it's like we're just doing it. But it's like, okay, I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna put it here, I'm gonna put it there, I'm gonna put it on this influencer. A Hanes tank top is like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like,
Right.
yeah, I'm gonna wear the same dirty tank top I've been wearing. It's under a shirt. I'm wearing this under my shirt. You know what I mean? But it's marketing. Like, this is all about money. When you really get down to it, most is just, it's gonna go back to some money.
Yeah. I want to go back to the light skin thing. I feel like I say often on this podcast that light skin are either Drake or Ike. And I feel like, because I got into a real bad back and forth with one of y'all about that in the email. It was so frustrating. When I say Drake or Ike, I'm not saying those exact people. I'm saying Ike Turner, kick ass, snort coke, beat
Chris
his
Brown?
and I'm saying Drake because he's softer, as a, he's a soft rapper.
That's like the meter. Like,
Yeah.
Drake is here and Ike is here. And some,
Where do you think you fall on that?
I mean, definitely closer to Ike, but
I'ma
I
give you
don't
Ike.
hit women. So.
You don't, but you beat up for teasing you.
They do that.
So,
I only hit a woman one time.
oh wow, did she hit you first, or did you just haul off a
she
cracker?
did.
Oh,
I was trying to walk away. She wouldn't let me. I just slapped the shit out of her.
open hand.
Yeah. Bah.
Wow,
I got close.
close.
Yeah.
Have you
I was
been
like
hit by a
19.
woman?
I felt so embarrassed though. And
Slapped
I
her.
think the thing is, I knew she was doing it because her friends was there. Like, she was trying to embarrass me.
Slapped the dog shit on me, but I was like sitting on the bed. We was like, it was a bunch of us in the room. That bitch slapped me. Everybody see me. I said, yeah, and everybody immediately jumped in front of me because I was about to wild her up crazy. But
You was gonna whoop her ass.
she was gonna get gripped up, slam something. You know I'm small, bro. Like, you feel me? Don't be putting your
I was
hands
so
on me.
embarrassed. That was the thing. She slapped me and I tried to walk away. And they laughing. Like, her two homegirls was laughing.
Was y'all dating?
Yeah. And this is the first time I had met them too.
Oh, the friend. She was showing
So
off.
it was like she was trying to, and I was like, damn, yo, she's sweet otherwise. Like, why she acting like this?
Yeah.
So then when I put two and two together, like, oh, you don't talk about me lovingly
Yeah,
or something.
right.
Or you afraid to be vulnerable in front of them because of how they might treat you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we was doing something like, I don't know why she slapped me, bro. And I was like, what the f? And I just started walking away and then laughing. And she was like, where you going? And like when you know how you can sense intention, like I'm antagonizing you, like where you going? Like what you doing? Why you walking away? I just turned around and slapped the shit out of her.
Damn.
Had to get that one off. Felt terrible about it because she started crying, but
I hit every boyfriend I ever had at first,
I know.
but let me listen.
Nah, I picked up them vibes off you.
I don't know why. My first boyfriend hit me. He smacked me across my face, and we fist fought. I remember he had a small room with a king size bed, and the way the room was, you kind of had to move the bed to get in and out. And he smacked me across my face, and I was like mortified because we was real in love. He took my virginity, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And he was kind to me, he was generous, bought me bamboos, put his name in them and shit. Yes, he used to get it first of the month check and flip it with that coat, with that hard. All right, I used to sit in the car with him, help him break it off. You know
Good
what I mean?
man.
Okay, Savannah. But no, he smacked the shit out of me, and I sat on that, but I never was though, you know. And I had 4 guys like all my life, and I sat on that bed, and I'm like, I just really just hit me. He's still talking whatever, and I got up, I moved that bed to that door, and I stood on the bed because that was the most space in the room was standing on the bed, and I stood on the bed and was like, all right, let's rumble, you know what I mean? He like, please, you know, and I instantly started to attack him. So that's the relationship that we had. We would fight, but every guy I dated, I would hit them. Like I thought that was a thing. Are you okay?
Oh no, I feel like
Clear the air for this.
God damn. I could just feel that.
You want some water?
Yeah, that's why.
I'm about to say, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people, when they not from
Hold
here,
up. We stopping. Why he get this water?
whatever. A lot
I don't want you to not say it on camera if we're stopping. If he's getting himself together, that's what I'm saying. Wait until we make sure we.
I was making a comment on my phone.
Oh, not the camera. You don't want it to be on camera.
It don't.
What you
Yeah,
saying?
it don't matter.
Oh, good.
I was just saying, a lot of people when they not from here, bro, they always talk. And I was gonna say Delaware too. That's why I didn't care. I didn't want to say that on camera. When people come Delaware, bro, they be about the air. I guess we used to it, but most they come down here, they be like, man, y'all pollen and the da-da-da. I be like,
I could just feel it. I was like, damn, it's like irritating my hand.
you might have swallowed a bug.
Do y'all see them bugs?
Yeah. I ain't gonna
They
hold
not
you.
over here.
I ain't
They
gonna
over
hold
here.
you. I'm not finna lie to you. That's when I was trying to hold it. I was like, damn, did I swallow a bug? Like that's how I really felt over there.
Take your time, get your shit together. So we can just act like I was already talking. So my vagina is so fat and wet that I couldn't even walk the other day. You wouldn't believe it. I said to myself, I'm about to slip and slide.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where she was going with this.
Yes.
Excuse me. Breaking news. We are at war officially. President Donald Trump has just dropped 3 bombs on 3 nuclear sites in Iran. And he made a statement, which I will read. We have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natsan, and I'm not going to try that one. All planes are now outside of the Iran airspace, and a full payload of bombs was dropped on a primary site. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
I thought you said hard stop. We busy. We got protests. Hard stop. Donald Trump just said hard stop.
That nigga ready to finesse at all
We
times.
busy. So that was a scam.
Little bait and
It had
switch.
to be a scam.
Oh my God.
Because it takes time to plan this type of military strike.
Right.
So he can't just you can't do this strike
Overnight.
in a matter of seconds.
Did Iran say anything? Did they say anything?
Yes, they said you started it and we will finish it. That was from the president of Iran.
Man, them niggas bluffing.
I don't know if I'm just
Zach, play Fortunate Son. It ain't me.
I don't know.
Y'all don't know that song?
I don't know if it's just like if I'm just over that worries me.
It should worry everyone.
That's scary.
Yeah,
So
that
if they
shit a little
hitting
scary.
nuclear sites, that mean they just had nuclear bombs go off where they at.
Yes.
So they wiped out a big area, 3 different places.
But typically, my assumption, and I could be wrong, but you're not going to keep nuclear bombs near populated areas.
Right.
So
Right,
it doesn't.
okay.
It's not necessarily an area that was super populated, but that does weaken Iran's ability to show force.
Yeah, and it creates
Because
a lot of
they
radiation
kind of kept
in those
people at
areas.
bay.
That's what
They
I was
kept other
thinking.
military forces at bay for a while because they did have nukes.
Yeah.
But now, if their nukes are compromised, then
And the whole point is this: what? Because he feels like nobody should have nuclear weapons.
no. So he is. I mean, there's obviously going to be multiple opinions on why this started, but a lot of this has to do with his alignment with Israel.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead
And
and
they
wrap
want
this up.
this is something they wanted.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and pack up. Listen, hey, you could tap into the White Girl Podcast. We will be filming in Canada. We're moving the whole production to Canada. I'm ready to go. You know, there's a lot of Somalis over there, Muslims. I think we can get in there. Eb has a bar. You can visit us over there. I'll be telling jokes in there. And we'll be getting it in. Me and my throuple. Me and Eb. Anybody want to add to before we get up out of here?
Man,
Appreciate Deante on that day, man.
y'all didn't.
Y'all don't give a about the war?
I can't do nothing about it sitting here right now.
Well,
so.
not even that, but it's like I'm not really super duper reactionary like that. I be
Okay.
wanting to see how shit play out because sometimes, rumors of war is always prevalent. So it's like, but the only thing I can see that's like positive from this is like white on Facebook is really finna get in their bag.
Yeah.
Like white on Facebook with Oakleys, they don't want to with us.
You know,
They just finna start talking about the defense budget now.
I ain't
Like
gonna
we spend
lie.
$7.8 billion on defense. We got the best missiles, anti-missile aircraft. Like
Yeah, they definitely know all the
they know all
artillery.
that artillery.
Yeah.
So they finna really get in their bag like on some
They gonna educate us on
the Eagles finna sound off.
Yeah.
But also, you seen the shit? I was briefly watching the war not the war, but the missiles that Iran was dropping on Israel. And you know they got those anti-missile defense systems.
Yeah.
They was bombing them shit. And they had them set up in residential neighborhoods.
What? This is.
They was dropping bombs on Israel.
It's embarrassing. And then it's like the thought of them. I hate the fact that they back in Israel play anyway. It's just disgusting to be attached to that.
I look at that like, I think we use Israel. I think we washing money.
What you mean?
There are a lot of resources that we need from Israel, that we get from Israel, and that's why their alignment is with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also it's like
It's a money play.
it's a money play.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You know what? That's fair. That makes sense to me. That I understand that when you even bring money into it, but Palestine just been on globally in front of everybody for so long.
Yeah,
it's like,
word.
why is everybody like what the?
It's some
with
free
everybody?
Palestine shit, but it's also like
Free Palestine.
They've been under attack for like 70 years.
Yeah.
And so it's so weak that they have no defense.
Yeah.
So they looking at it like they already planning on what they gonna do with the land.
They just want to delete them.
They don't care about the
delete
people.
them.
They don't care about the people.
There's already where the whole family going. Everybody been hit. There's no kid grow up. Everybody's going. It's gross.
It's a super fucked up situation.
It's fucking
the
gross.
thing that I hated about it the most is when I was watching Iran was bombing Israel, and you go in the comments and they like, see, the citizens are the ones that suffer when these countries go to war. Why don't the leaders just work it out, and why do they have to involve citizens? Like, y'all was just in support of Israel doing this to Palestinians.
Yeah.
How about you shut the fuck up?
Exactly.
Like you getting what you put out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then also too, it's like to your point about them hitting the nuclear sites, because Iran got that oil money, so like it ain't like they defense budget some too.
Right.
But I don't think America, you know, we put real bread into that defense.
And I am a true red-blooded, violent American. I believe in beating out your neighbor. I believe in beating the person you've been beefing with on Facebook up, on live. I'm a real live American, and I know that, you know, we tend to kick ass when we come around or whatever, but it's like, I'm also a human. You know what I mean? It's like, and I don't know why a lot of y'all not like that too. It's like, where it's like, and that's the thing. I always had this conversation with my mom. We've never experienced war here. We don't even know what that shit feel like. The closest we got is an attack on the planes, September 11th. The attack in early 90s New York, Pearl Harbor, which is not even on the mainland, right? We are not used to, you're going to the grocery store with your grandparent, and then boom, it's a bomb. And now your grandma's
that ain't no
ground.
reality for us.
Exactly. So it's like people to speak
even
on.
with the 9/11, that hit the towers, like people died, but we ain't seen a city wiped out like that.
Fuck no.
Like,
no.
Can you imagine that? Like that's
Fuck no.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
No, it's fucked up.
Yeah,
it's fucked up. And it's like, that is, when we go to war, that's the only people that are really hurt is the people at the bottom. That's why it's scary, because if you're not amongst the people at the top, then got bunkers. I mean, they really got places to hide. Just if a did drop some nuclear shit, they got places to go.
Yeah.
We don't. We just, only people gonna make it is the roaches and my baby fathers. Except Chuck. You on my good list this week. Let me stop playing. Before I get that nigga in trouble.
Just for the listeners, people who may be scared about the draft being put back in place, there are only draft in previous years or previous wars.
Pre-Trump.
18 to 25. So we're talking about people 18 to 25. They do not take you with medical ailments. So if you got diabetes, severe anxiety, asthma,
Pause. If you're in the ages between 18 and 25, what Eb is trying to say is these are the things you need to be lying, saying you have,
Start getting
so
high.
you don't go.
Exactly.
Depression, anxiety, get addicted to drugs. Fentanyl's a great one.
All y'all
Cocaine,
Ozempic or Satan.
Fentanyl's
ecstasy.
a great one. It's crazy.
Because you're addicted. Then they can see it on you when you get there.
Meth
You
is
got
real
that
popular
If you
motherfucker.
want
right
to
now.
avoid the draft,
Get you
If
some
you-
ice.
Listen, little meth, you go to that first day, geeked up off that meth, 4 days being up, you
sending
get
you
to
right
twitching.
back.
You don't got to worry about
they're sending
nothing.
you back for sure.
We just trying to give you tools here to don't White Girl
Also,
podcast
you don't want
to avoid the draft.
But you don't want to play with America like that because they be like, we could use this. He doesn't get tired.
They go.
It's only funny because it's true.
Create a super soldier out that meth, nigga.
It's so many more things I want to talk to you about, but I guess I'll save it for when I go on the Grits and Eggs podcast.
For sure.
Make sure y'all check out the Grits and Eggs podcast. If you don't know who this beautiful black man, intelligent black man is Deante Kyle. Remember, if this is your first time seeing him, I put him in your life, whore. You're welcome. Tap into his podcast. I am going to go on the podcast. I got a show in Cincinnati, July the 26th. I have a show in Richmond, Virginia, July the 31st. And I possibly have a show in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, August the 29th. That's a maybe. I haven't got no ticket link to that yet.
When you going to be in Atlanta?
I don't know. I'm just coming to Atlanta to f with you.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, I can put the show together. It's Atlanta. It's
Yeah,
home.
word.
You know what I mean? But wait a minute. It was something else I wanted to say. Oh, shout out to Philadelphia. We had a great show in Philadelphia City Winery. Got a little ghetto up in that. We had a good time. After party was at the very, very bougie Oakley.
Black Oak tasting.
Black Oak Tasting Lounge and Bar Cafe. We had a great time up in Bougieville. Ed was there, popping, shaking. We was drunk as shit, threesomes, coke, had a good time. We doing our 200th episode party there too. Make sure you get your tickets. Do we have tickets? No, but that sound cool. You want to tell them something, Deante?
They'll be up by the time this episode is up.
Grits and Eggs podcast resumes July 2nd. You can join the Patreon. The Grits and Eggs podcast is just $8. Follow me, Deante.Kyle, all platforms. Grits and Eggs podcast on Instagram. And I'm staying off Twitter. Yeah, don't drink and tweet, guys.
Love y'all so much. I'll see y'all next week.